Hello headliners, today's segment will be focused on the alien threat of the game, going over what each of them do and how to counter them so that you can make it back to the chopper in time and alive. Since there are quite a bit of aliens in the game altogether, I'm going to be doing this as a two-parter. I'm going to start off with the indoor aliens this part, outdoor aliens next part. And the first alien is going to be the Squeeble. This one is the only one in the game that is completely harmless. It actually tries to hide from the player, and when being spotted, it does jump up, make a lot of noise, run away, opening all the doors in its path. On to the second spot, we have our friendly neighborhood rattler. Now, this alien only scurries around just like a rat does trip over players, causing them to lose 1 HP. This is super easy to avoid, literally just jumping right over it. Yeah, it's not really up there on danger level. I have yet to see any players die from this thing. Now for the third spot, I have died and seen players die by it. It is the string trap. Now these seem stupidly obvious, but when you are being chased, you completely forget about them. And yeah, unless you're going to use these things to set up a trap for another alien to get an easy photo of, definitely stay away from these things. They'll ensnare you, and per second you'll lose 10 HP. So, you do have a stronger possibility of death compared to the last two aliens. The alien or aliens taking the fourth spot are the shamblers. Now, they just kind of power walk around the map. They let out a bit of a screech, letting you know that they see you. They will do 34 damage on hit and will remove a limb. So while they are slower and don't pose too big of a threat, if you underestimate them, you may lose the ability to sprint. So keep your distance. These guys are very easy to lure into traps with, and getting some easy Darwin awards too. Number 5 is going to be your Tormentor. Now, this thing is a bit faster than the Shamblers. This thing actually has a bit of a jog to it. Will grab a player to bash them around the ground, causing 30 damage in total. The uncommon and rare variations of it are a little bit faster than the normal ones, so just keep that in mind when you see them. And these guys, along with the Shamble, do pass through vents. I totally forgot to say that, but yeah, luring them into traps, easiest thing to do, unless if there are none, because you are indoors, just run through a door, close it right behind you. Nothing they can really do about it. And in the 6th spot, we have the Stalker. Now, this one, similarly to the Squeeble, if the player does see them, they will run away. But if you pursue the Stalker too much, it will attack at a pretty good speed, and it will do 70 damage on hit and take a limb. So that one is definitely up there on do not mess with too much. I would say trying to get pictures of him, it's not really worth the points unless there's multiple aliens and he happens to run by, or if he runs into a mine, if you can catch that happening. But yeah, I just wouldn't pursue this one. Number 7 is the Crawler. Now, the Crawler is another pretty speedy one. The basic variant you can sprint away from pretty easily, and the basic one only does 50 damage if he comes over to hit you, but will remove a limb. The other variations, which is the uncommon and rare, are a bit different. They are faster and do more damage. The uncommon deals 60 damage, still removing limbs, and the rare will do 75 damage and remove a limb. So the rare Crawler definitely does, I think, the second most damage out of all the indoor aliens. They also do travel through vents and can break doors. So if you're at a dead end room, try to get through the door ASAP. That one, the Crawler can fall to all traps, including the string trap. I did find that out by accident. I didn't think he was gonna trip it because I thought the Crawler's too low to the ground. Nope, they can still fall for it. So that's still a good way and using doors, but they will destroy the door. So just be cautious of that. So moving on to number 8, the pulpo. This one grabs players, throwing them around the room, doing 10 damage per second, can remove multiple limbs, and players can run over to smack it, incapacitating it for some moments so that you're able to escape. This one can also knock players into each other, but it only knocks them over. It doesn't do damage to the other players. And as of the newest patch, the pulpo does not stay holding on to the player until death or someone releasing them. So it's no longer a complete death like the string trap, but it still can do some damage. So be forewarned about that. And it does have a very large reach. So definitely, like, not only keep a distance, but make sure there's a way for you to either run into the next room. I wouldn't try using a bear trap to lure it into because of the reach that it has. It's most likely going to catch you before it would walk into a bear trap or into a mine. So unless you have multiple people with you or just one other person, I would stay away from the pulpo. But if you do have a group or one other person, you can intentionally get grabbed and have someone take a picture. And it's better with at least 2 other people to get that easy Darwin award. If someone's caught by it, someone else is emoting by it, and then the third person taking the picture, it can stack up a lot of points. So the pulpo is definitely a catch-22 because you can get a ton of points if you interact with it, but you can still lose limbs. And even though the damage isn't too high, just losing a leg in this game can kill you. So always keep that in the back of your head with the pulpo. Now moving on to the 9th alien is the infected bug. This one from the newest patch as well, changing just like the pulpo. When it latches onto a player, you get 3 seconds to remove and kill it off of a teammate. It no longer insta kills, it just does 50 damage, and that's to all the variants. I found that out through a lot of playtesting. These things do not spawn in a lot for me for whatever reason that is. It does give you a lot of points similar to the pulpo when it latches onto some, but of course be sure to run over, get it off them, and if it does end up killing a player, it will take control of that player's character and will run at players with a pretty good speed. And yeah, if it hits you, it does 50 damage, but it also removes a limb immediately on hit, like the shamble and other aliens inside. So as much as it can give you a lot of points, just don't let it get too far and end up killing someone. And finally, for the 10th alien, and the last one, but definitely not the least, this one is put last place for quite a few reasons. The shiny. This one is, like, does the most amount of damage, 100 damage. It is very similar to the stalker, as in it doesn't just immediately attack you, but if you run over, it does get provoked much easier than the stalker. Like, as soon as it's provoked, it's charging up for an explosion flying right at you, and it does have collision properties as well. So if you're not watching your surroundings, you can get cornered and die from it unless you have a helmet or ranger boots, which increases your health past 100 so you can survive it, although you lose a limb from it. So be very careful with that. But this one gives you the most amount of points indoors with its explosion. And if you can get either one of the civilians indoors caught up in the blast or another alien, that makes for one of the best photos you can get indoors without trying to pull a Darwin Awards, because obviously that makes everything much more dangerous if you're, really testing fade out when it comes to the Darwin Awards. And that's really all I have to say. If you want to avoid it, it's among the easiest. It teleports around if it's left alone wandering around, so very easy to avoid. But I do recommend trying to get that thing to explode for the higher difficulties, and if possible, getting something like the shamble caught up in it so it's an easier photo and to get those high points. So that's going to kind of wrap it up for this part 1 for the tips and tricks on the aliens. This has taken me a very long time to make, and it took me longer on this one, not only because of the information, but because of the patch and it was very vague. I had to do a lot of playtesting and searching up online, and I didn't want to just throw out the video and have pieces of info missing or incorrect. So, I did this to the best of my ability, and grabbing the footage properly per alien is also taken up a lot of time. So I definitely appreciate if you leave a like, comment down below if you found the video helpful, or if I have missed anything that is crucial to help out newer players, as this is the point of the series. So, anything and everything for the comments. Anyway, I appreciate it for watching through to the end of the video, and thank you for everyone who've come to this video from the last video. That is all I have to say. This is an honest gamer signing out. Peace.